Every Sunday, this morning's guest tunes into Fox to watch The Simpsons. This Saturday, he'll be walking for The Simpsons. What's it all about? You'll find out coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Conway Medical's Wellness and Fitness Center. We're focused on this Saturday's Horry County Walk America. And we're visiting with one of the board members of the PD division of the March of Dimes, Rigby Wilson,
Very
the
good
Vice
to see
President
you.
and General Manager of WFXP Fox TV.
Good friend of mine, Greg Everett.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Thank you.
And business partner. So
And
there you
business partner, that's exactly right. You're the reason that you and the Bayackel family and the Bayackel company, part of the reason why I'm now spending more time focused on the Herald and less on your station here.
Well, the Bayackel company bought the station from you. The viewers don't know, but you certainly do.
Oh, yeah.
Just about a year ago, and it's been a really wonderful opportunity for the Bayackel company, which is a family-owned broadcasting company based out of the Carolinas, right here in the Carolinas.
Very definitely.
Yeah, and the Bayackels own 6 TV stations.
Is that right?
About 15 radio in 3 different markets, and a golf course up in Virginia.
Oh, come on. I did not know that.
It's called the Old Monterey Country Club. So, anyway, that's the extent of their holdings, but it's a very well-run, family, employee-driven, and employee-focused company. So, I'm just very, very pleased to have the opportunity to be here in Myrtle Beach for the company.
And you've been with the company almost a decade now.
About 8 years.
Right,
Yeah, about 8 years. I was over in Columbia. I've lived in Columbia and in South Carolina for about 8 years, and I guess I'm an adopted South Carolinian by now. I'm certainly a Gamecock fan.
Oh yeah.
But having lived in Columbia for all that time, but it's been great for me. I moved down here from Milwaukee, so it was quite a weather change for me.
Big change. You have family here in the Palmetto State too, Rigby?
That's right. Well, of course, my wife and my 2 boys, they're 27 and 24, are in the area.
Right.
My son's working out of Beaufort now, and
Really?
my other son's in Savannah, actually.
Close.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
The Peach
Yeah.
State.
So we love the Southeast.
Oh, yeah. It is amazing. And probably a pretty big difference from Milwaukee. How long had you been in Milwaukee, Rigby?
I was there about 8 years. I've been in
that
broadcasting 31 years. Or actually, now it's 33 years.
Right out of junior high.
Well,
Look at that.
I joke about it. I got into broadcasting the same month that Nixon resigned from the presidency. So for the viewers that can remember that, that's
what, 74?
74. It was August of 74, and that's the month that I started in broadcasting at age 21. So
I did not know that. Where was that, Rigby?
that was in Pennsylvania. Yeah,
Okay.
I started in TV advertising sales in Pennsylvania, the station there.
Growing up, had you always known you wanted to get into broadcasting?
Well, I'm a TV kid, so I mean it's kind of followed. I'm a political science major, and that's what I graduated with from Miami University in Oxford, Ohio.
Right.
But I was a radio TV minor, and I knew halfway through that I wanted to get into television. So it's been something on that.
Was the interest in radio or in TV, or was it being
TV.
on air?
It was TV.
Right.
Yeah, it was always going to be TV, and I had no on-air aspirations. I wanted to be behind the camera, though. I was thinking TV news, being a political science major and all that kind of thing.
Sure.
But that card wasn't dealt to me, and I wound up in television advertising sales and couldn't be happier. This is the best job I've ever had, being general manager of the TV station. It's a lot better than the job I had when I was young. Can I tell you about that?
Yeah, please. Let's hear
I
it.
worked as a grave digger in the
Oh, come
summertime
on.
when I was in high school. Yeah,
That was your first
this is
job?
way better than being a grave digger, I'll tell you.
I didn't see that in preparing for your
I usually
interview,
don't
Rigby.
put that on the resume.
That's right.
You know.
Leave that off. Yeah. Well, first jobs. Everyone remembers their first job, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That stands out. How'd you land that job?
Well, it was just a family relationship. Actually, I was underage. I started doing it when I was 15. So,
Ooh, gal.
But anyway, it was. I did that during the summers in high school. But
And you grew up in Pennsylvania or in Ohio?
Illinois.
In Illinois?
Illinois. I'm
Okay.
a Midwesterner, yeah.
Great, good.
Yeah, we like to say that the Midwest is the south of the North because the same kind of values that Southerners tend to have.
Oh, yeah, very
And,
definitely.
family-oriented and, kind of a conservative kind of principled family atmosphere.
Sure. There's a lot more that goes into operating a TV station than I bet a lot of people think about. We enjoy tuning in. Hopefully they're all tuning into Carolina People, but if they're not, they're probably tuning into American Idol. I mean, a lot goes in to operating
it's
a TV
business.
station.
You have two different constituencies. You have the viewers and you have the advertiser, and of course, the station's license is first and foremost.
Right, the
obviously,
FCC.
because without the license, you have nothing. But you speak to your viewers, you serve the advertisers, and also the public at the same time. So it's a ever-changing, always interesting business that is, I think, a really neat lifestyle. And I encourage anybody who's listening out there, watching out there, to look us up if you're interested in careers in television. We don't have anything available. We can certainly help you find something.
That's wonderful. And there are other stations within the Bahakel family, group of stations, those
Correct.
6 stations.
Right.
Always opportunities looking at them.
Yeah.
If a viewer needed to get off to school now or get off to work or family off to school, is there do you all have a website or a good phone number for someone to call to learn more about the station?
It's WFXB.com, and
Okay.
we have a job site on there, and of course you can call the station at 843-828-4300.
Right, exactly. I remember when that phone number was put into use. We would promote the 843 Fox 43, something like that.
Right.
Some great,
it was
great connections
fortunate.
there. Nice, the 828-4300.
Well, Greg, you just built a wonderful TV station, and I give you my thanks on behalf of the Bahakel family for building it really up to where it was at the time that we purchased it from you. So hats off to you for a excellent job that you did in establishing the Fox brand on WFXB prior to our being there. I know it was a struggle and a lot of years.
Rigby. I wish I could take credit for a lot of it, other than being blessed with the FCC opening the door and then the Fox network opening the door back in early '97. Of course, a lot of it is blood, sweat, and tears of the tremendous group, the employees there that really
just
made
getting
it happen.
something like that started from the ground up.
And
is
it was
amazing.
totally. Back in '96, Jimmy Thompson, who owned the station, who also owned what's now Fox 57 in Columbia and Channel 63 in Sumter, who'd been a broadcaster since the early '70s up in Greenville. Jimmy Thompson, of course, put it on the air back in '84 and then sold it to me in '96. But as you say, it's all about the FCC and serving the public. Eventually, everything comes back to that.
Yeah, we're licensed to serve the public, and that's where we are. Along the way, if we get to entertain them and help businesses build their business with advertising, then that's gravy.
It is amazing. Well, of course, our big focus is Walk America. Does Fox 43 have a team this year?
Yes, we do. We have the WFXB Fox 43 Owen Reef Simpson Walk America team.
Great.
And as I understand it, Owen was featured on your show.
Yes.
His father, Brian Simpson, who's a former employee of WFXB and a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
We decided that we would have Owen be sort of our ambassador on our team, so to speak, because as you know, Owen was born premature and weighed about 2 pounds when he was born, and he's now a healthy, happy, vibrant, alert, lovely little boy.
He really is.
And the Simpsons, of course, really feel a great debt of gratitude to March of Dimes and everything that they did during that trying time when you have a premature baby.
Absolutely. For viewers who missed Brian on air, they can go to CarolinaPeople.com, watch his interview in its entirety, and see the great aspect of some tremendous pictures that Brian brought that day when we filmed at Keller Williams a couple of weeks ago. The pictures of his son at birth, and then as the progression happened to what you say right now, a beautiful baby boy.
The March of Dimes just is a wonderful, wonderful force in the community. They help so many people, and that's why when you talk to me about the possibility of being on the board, and then I was invited to be on the March of Dimes board, I really jumped at it because I think it's one of the best organizations in the community because they do so many great things for people who really need it.
Oh yeah. Think about that. Whether it's as Coach Bennett, the honorary chair of this Saturday's walks, talks about either the elderly or babies, both oftentimes very helpless, who really need our help. If you can, with, as he said, on the PSAs that have been running on the Fox 43 and some other area stations, with your support and prayers, there is hope.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, if you're lucky enough and fortunate enough and blessed enough to have healthy children, you appreciate it even more because you know that you've been blessed and you want everybody to have that same blessing, and March of Dimes really helps that happen. Yeah,
very definitely. You've got a big, of course, the station has a lot of different folks. What are some of the things you all have been doing to get ready for this Saturday's walk? Some of the fundraisers you've done?
Well, we have one of our station members actually has involved his church.
Is that
right?
And
Steve Albright has gone out and asked for the support of the parishioners in his church and the congregation to get behind the team, and so he's done that. I know Brian Simpson and his wife Lisa will be walking with us as well, and through their connections with March of Dimes and other parents that have had premature babies, they've got a lot of support behind them too.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So we're really pumped up about it.
Supporting Brian and Lisa Simpson, and of course Owen Reef Simpson has really come on strong over I think the birth was last August.
Right. I believe it was August.
Over the 8-month, 7 or 8 to 9 month period to see the expansion he's made, and he really is the face, along with the other ambassador babies at this Saturday's walk, of the March of Dimes, whether it's prematurity, which you heard Joe Fisher with us yesterday on the show, heard her talking about prematurity, but birth defects across the board, whether it's a cleft palate, whether it's any numbers of birth defects that occur for a child. The March of Dimes is really fighting.
When we had our first baby, Ben was born in Pennsylvania. And Carol was expecting during 1979 in March. And turning back the pages of history, March 1979 is when the 3 Mile Island nuclear accident happened.
Oh, boy.
When all the pregnant women were asked to leave the area because of the fear that radiation might have and creating birth defects and that kind of thing. We had no idea that she was pregnant at the time. We only found out about a month later. So for those months, we wondered whether or not our firstborn was going to be born healthy. And so that's part of that whole feeling has kind of stayed with me in terms of the thankfulness to have healthy babies, and also to help those who need to do that too.
Absolutely. I know, Reese, having joined the board in the last year, Rigby, you were asked, I think you and the chairman of the board, Franklin Long, recently made a trip to meet with legislators around the state, but you all made a trip to Columbia.
We did. We met with actually dozens of legislators that attended a legislative breakfast that morning right there at the Capitol. And we talked to them about March of Dimes and about the things, the point of view, so to speak, of March of Dimes, especially when it comes to things like the cigarette tax that, that could go through. As people know, cigarettes are taxed at only 7 cents a pack in South Carolina, and the idea is that we just tax them at a small fraction of where they're taxed elsewhere, up to $1, because as you know, cigarette taxes around the country, some of them are $4, $5 a pack.
Is that right? A pack?
Right. And so if we go up to $1, that 93 cents could be earmarked for women and infants, babies, especially for smoking cessation programs for pregnant women. Which obviously would help reduce birth defects. And that kind of thing. And the legislators, I think, were very, very open to that, especially when the tax money for the cigarette tax would go towards a cause like that, rather than just going into the general fund and get spent with all the other dollars, and that would be just dispersed to every agency in the state. So even legislators that represented tobacco growers.
I was about to say, I know you and Franklin had a tough uphill battle with some folks because we've got counties in the PD division like Marlboro,
right,
Chesterfield, two of the most popular cigarettes in the world.
Right, but even those legislators, if given the choice that yes, these dollars will be earmarked towards doing some good and helping people to stop smoking,
right,
then that made sense to them, rather than, of course, just another tax that was going to be going into the general fund. So,
sure.
I mean, I think we may have done some good, and we'll see. You know, the budget is still hanging in the balance,
right,
and
right.
It will be decided by summer, but we'll see what happens.
Franklin Long was with us a couple of weeks ago when we were out at Sparks Toyota, and he talked about y'all's trip and the real impact that the two of y'all were able to make, and I think he said you had tremendous success with some of the legislators that you just never thought would
right.
have 2 ears and would be
Well,
willing to
you know,
listen.
everybody knows the dangers of smoking. Mm-hmm. It's undeniable. Tobacco growers know it.
Right.
But you know, it's a cash crop, and it's a subsidized crop, and it's a livelihood. Mm-hmm. So. But people will listen to reason, and people, will listen to things that make sense. Mm-hmm. And so, it was our feeling that we got to go and tell the point of view of March of Dimes, and I think we were very well received.
Speaking of that, Rigby, being in Columbia was kind of old hat for you. That's stomping ground.
Yeah,
you spent, I think you said, 7 or 8 years there.
I love Columbia.
In Columbia.
I love the Grand Strand in Florence and in the PD area. I love all of South Carolina, but I love Columbia really because it's such a good, interesting, open community. You've got the university and of course the Army base and state government, and Columbians are used to welcoming new people into the community, and that's what we found when we got there. Not unlike what we've experienced here in the Grand Strand.
You were the general sales manager of WOLO,
right,
the
ABC station owned by Bay Hackle.
25, which
right.
is also owned by Bay Hackle.
Yes, right.
Great opportunity not only to your first introduction to the Bay Hackle family, but to be able to work at another strong station in the state capital. Mm-hmm. And of course, to see some of the things they did over the course of your tenure there, as well as I think I saw you were the recipient of the Silver Medal Award from the Addy Group there, the Addy Awards.
The American Advertising Federation, 3rd District, did award me.
I saw you were also the governor there.
State governor
for the 3rd District, which is tremendous. Yeah. What was that like, Rick?
Well, it's an organization that furthers the cause of advertising.
Good.
Truth in advertising, creativity in advertising, effectiveness in advertising.
Right.
And it's a professional organization that uses those kinds of focal points to promote professionalism in advertising. And so I've been involved in advertising clubs really all my career in broadcasting, and it's great to see the young people come into the advertising agency or to a production company and be so involved in the creative process and have a place where they can learn more and congregate and network and that kind of thing, and it gives them their professional life a lot more texture. So for those reasons, it's a good thing. Plus, it's the American Advertising Federation is a lobbying group to further the cause of advertising in America on free television, so to speak.
Absolutely, very important to highlight. And in receiving that award, I saw that the American Advertising Federation highlighted your tremendous service with the Three Rivers Music Festival, Vista Lights, of course, the Sister Care. A lot of involvement there in the 7 or 8 years that you were in Columbia. You really got active in the community there.
And that's why I was happy to be involved with March of Dimes. And if there's anybody in the community that is active in giving back to the community, it is you, Greg Everett.
Oh yeah, well, Rick, let's not talk about that. That's very,
I know you wouldn't want to talk about it, but I will tell you that you, I think, are a tremendous example for business leaders in this community who will give back to the community because of your involvement, not only with the March of Dimes, but the Heart Association and the myriad other things that you get involved in through the Myrtle Beach Herald, but also you personally. And my hat's off to you. I think you're a tremendous example for the community.
Thank you, Rigby. That's a real honor hearing that from you. And of course, we're excited to have you here in the community making a difference, and the Bahakel family and everything they've done. You know, they structured this properly, they handled it, they made the transition easy for all the staff.
Right.
Oftentimes, you know, change can be difficult, but you and the entire crew, and if it was difficult for a lot of folks, but fortunately you all made it real easy. And some of the employee benefits that the Bahakel family extend are just beyond the norm, are incredible.
Well, we like to say that we're the employee's best friend.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of from the top down. That filters from the top down. I've never seen a company that allowed people personal time like our company does.
I was thrilled back in January of last year when Jim Babb and some others came in. John Hutchison and others were there with you to announce the transition would take place later, and it took place this past August. But during that time, to hear the excitement and to see the staff during a tough time.
Well, you know, the company knows that it's good to do that for the employees, but it's good business.
Yes.
You get paid back by the employees because their appreciation and their loyalty pays dividends through the traction that we're able to maintain in an organization where people love to come to work every day.
Right.
You know, they get in their car and they've got a smile on their face driving to work, and nothing's better than that, especially when you're coming to a TV station.
That's right, very definitely. And again, the TV station is expanding so much now with y'all getting involved and really launching digital full bore, making a difference there. I mean, Fox TV is not only about American Idol and some of the great TV shows that the network and in syndication that y'all are putting on, but really making a difference, making sure everyone has it available, not only folks over the air, but on in the digital world.
You know, once again, I'll say it, and I know some of the viewers are aware, but a lot of them aren't, that February 2009, all the what we call the analog channels go away.
Do they really, Rigby? It'll really happen?
It's going to really happen.
Wow.
It's going to really happen. Our digital build-out that we did in our transmitter and tower in Mullins in Marion County was critical to the future because we have the strongest digital TV signal in Eastern Carolina.
Oh yeah, very.
And you know, it's really an investment to the future. Obviously, it's paying off now, but it's paying off into the future as well.
And you also serve about a quarter of your viewers are in North Carolina, in southeastern North Carolina, Robinson, Scotland County. You've got a very strong signal in Columbus and Brunswick County.
Yeah, we predominantly serve about an 8-county area. Two of those counties are in North Carolina. Scotland County and Robinson County.
And it's so important to make a commitment to them where they're very low cable penetrations there, so they really require a good over-the-air signal. They don't have the benefit of Horry County where you've got a 93 or 94% cable penetration, where they may not need a great over-the-air signal, but in those counties they really do.
We've got a lot of viewers, and I'm sure there's viewers watching right now from those two counties, and we appreciate the loyalty of your viewership.
And we got a couple of minutes, Rigby, and that highlights even those viewers in Robinson and Scotland County can make a difference at this Saturday's Horry County Walk America, because those dollars all go into the big fund of the March of Dimes and making a difference.
That's right. That's right. Now, as you know, the goal is $293,000.
Wow.
And
you're feeling good about it.
I'm thinking that it's going to be over $300,000.
Come on, you know it's going to be over $300,000.
Well, I guess you know that.
I sure as heck
if
feel
you know it, I know it.
That's right.
There you go.
We do as a board, and I think the excitement of all the volunteers.
This is going to be the biggest.
B word, the volunteers that really drive this Saturday's event.
This will be the biggest. It was $272,000 last year, and that was a number that nobody thought could be attained. But I think the first number is going to be a 3. And we're hoping that that does indeed happen. It looks like it's going to be a wonderful day this Saturday, and we're hoping that it just becomes a history-making day for Horry County March of Dimes.
Absolutely. Rigby, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Very definitely.
It was good being here, and thanks for having the show on our station.
Thank you. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with the Vice President and General Manager of Fox TV, Rigby Wilson.
Babies are...
You heard Rigby talk about it, simple, and the same idea that ties into serving the public with the broadcast license. The license is provided by the FCC to serve the public. In the same way, the March of Dimes is out there to serve the public. It's a very simple mission, making sure the fight against prematurity and the fight against birth defects can be a fight worth fighting, can be a fight that every day folks get out there. This Saturday, you can make a difference in this fight. You can be involved in the Walk America that'll be held at Coastal Carolina University. It's National Walk America Day. You heard Rigby talk about it, a very aggressive goal, $293,000. That 3 in 293, though, Rigby said, is going to be the purse number in the dollars we're going to hit this Saturday. But you need to get out there. You can be a part of this Saturday's walk. Call 488-3463 or go online to walkamerica.org. We have less than 100 hours now. If you haven't been involved, if you haven't been watching us over the last few months and you haven't seen those public service announcements with Coach David Bennett saying, with your support and prayers, there are hope. If you haven't seen them, you've got time right now to make a difference. Get in there, get into your email box, send out emails to everyone you know just saying, give me $5, give me $10. You can make a donation online. You heard Rigby talking about Steve Albright and his wife and family talking to the members of their church. You can make a difference. Get out there. Anyone you know this Saturday, 9 a.m. registration, walks at 10.